What's going on, family? Man, pray you all are well on this evening. I just want to make sure you all can hear me. Let me know you can hear me. Um, we're just now getting this home studio up and running, and so we are making sure things are good. All right, so y'all can hear me. There's a long delay. I do not like that delay. Let me see if I can get that delay a little. Hold on a minute. Let me see something, y'all. Give me a minute. Hey, real quick, y'all. And as you all are coming in, please make sure you check that poll out. I really want to know the truth as far as in what would help you during this season, man. I wanted to jump back on here because um, oh, it can't be changed without streaming. Oh, okay, okay, all right, cool. I'll do that next time, but we'll be good. Um, Man, y'all, listen. We've had some interesting things come out. You know, just yesterday we see that the United States government, hold on, is in $40 trillion of U.S. debt. 40 trillion U.S. dollars of federal debt. And when I saw this, I said, "Yeah, this is." Man, if this is something that I just got to do, I got to do on tonight. And so we had a conversation, I want to say earlier this week on Tuesday. I want to say I'm going to run the play back again tonight. And so I know a lot of people could not make it on Tuesday. And so I said, hey, I want to come in here and just redo it again. So let me know real quick where you tuned in from. Do me a favor. If you tuned in, man, just let me know where you're tuned in from. And we're going to put it up on the screen and we'll get started here in a matter of not even 2 minutes. But I definitely do want to, give our people some love of who's in the building. If you love me, if you love what we're doing here within our community, please go on ahead and hit that thumbs up button. But good to see Jersey City is in the building. Ohio is in the building on tonight. New Zealand is in the building tonight. Okay, okay. The Bay Area is in the building tonight. All right, all right. I see y'all. I see you. Chesapeake, Virginia. I mean, no, what's that? PA. Yeah, yeah. PA's in the building tonight. Monroe, Cleveland, New Jersey. Okay, I see Houston. All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love to see it. Oh, New York City. New York City is in the building tonight. I will be in New York on Monday and Tuesday. For those of you who are just now tuning in, I am going to be on the Today Show Tuesday morning. Today's show is going. I'm gonna be on there Tuesday morning and NBC News and some other stuff as well. So West Virginia's in the building. I think. Oh yeah, I did. I did. Okay, man. You up. You up. My second home, Ghana, is in the building. Is in the building tonight, man. Well, I love it, y'all. I love it. I want to say thank y'all for tuning in. I'm not gonna keep you all long tonight. I felt led and compelled to jump back on here to have a conversation about how do we get ahead financially with everything that's going on in America right now. With us seeing that our debt is up, man, we're going to see interest rates continue to stay where they are or possibly go up. Because I want y'all to understand this, when we see that the economy is now that the U.S. government is $40 trillion in debt, this means that we're borrowing more money than what we actually have. And so now the government has to find a way, right, to pay off that debt. Now, I definitely want to say this. A lot of people are saying this is Trump's fault. I can't say it is. I can't say it's not. While this current president does have the most debt, um, it has been going up with every single president. So one of the things that I really want to lead with on tonight is that, man, we really got to start taking control of our house. So tonight, I really do want to have the conversation of how do we finally get ahead with our money? You know, how do we get out of debt? How do we make more money? And how do we truly build financial freedom? If you really want financial freedom tonight, I need you to do me a favor. Um, like this comment, not like this comment, Lord Jesus. Put a thumbs up so people can see it, so YouTube can push this out. But then also as well, we're gonna get straight into it. If you was here on Tuesday night, we're gonna go back through some of the stuff we learned on Tuesday night. If you weren't here on Tuesday night, hey, you're gonna have a good time. But tonight, I'm gonna have a conversation with you, right? I'm gonna have a conversation with you. Who is tonight going to be for? I'm going straight in. All right, it's going to be for the people who are tired of living paycheck to paycheck. It's going to be for the people who are ready and want to get out of consumer debt. 51% of you all said on the poll this evening that to really get to the level of financial freedom that you're on, that you really got to have financial freedom, right? You're ready to build savings, and if you're ready for money to eventually buy back your time, this is what you are going to get on this evening. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. The goal for this evening is I'm going to challenge your definition of financial success. I'm going to challenge you. What do you really think financial success means? Tonight, for tonight's goal, I want you to leave here knowing exactly where you are and how you are financially, right? And leave knowing what is the very next step you need to do. Not what is a long list of things you need to do. No, no, no. What is the very next step you need to do? So tonight, I'm going to be teaching, a lot. I'm going to give you a lot of value in the next 60 minutes. I promise you, I'm going to try and keep this at an hour so we can go to bed. I know a lot of us had a long day. But here's the thing, y'all. I don't need you to just listen. I need you to apply what you're going to learn tonight. If you do nothing else, I need you to apply what you're going to learn tonight. All right? Here's my ask. I need you to be present tonight. Give me 60 minutes of your undivided attention. Be honest with yourself when I ask questions. Be open, make decisions, and think about your money. Now, some of the challenges that are facing us right now that I've learned is that freedom starts when we are honest with each other. Not with each other, period, but when we're honest with ourselves. What's keeping people financially trapped? We're going to have that conversation tonight. Because if we see here, 53% of you all said, I need to get out of debt. I need to get out of debt. So there's no shame in that. I just really want to have a conversation with you all on tonight because it does. Here's the thing. It starts with that. All right. Future income is already spoken for. We already have a lot of consumer debt. Too much of our future income is already committed to our past decisions. Credit cards. On the same report, when people were studying the $40,000 in trillion debt that we have, the $40 trillion of debt that we have, they said one of the main contributing factors to that, credit card debts, followed by car loans. And so what I want y'all to understand, man, is that debt steals your options. Steals it. Can you think about this? If you have $5,000 coming in and you had $5,000 coming out, if an emergency happened today, you are one emergency away from everything. And what I've learned is that problems without no margin, that means you have no space. Margin is what I'm going to be really teaching on this evening. Because freedom needs breathing room. Freedom needs breathing room. Many people I've seen have good income. For an example, just put in a chat if you're bold enough, you don't have to. I want the chat to see how much money do you make a year? I want you to be honest. Do you make 60,000, 70,000, 80,000? Some of y'all may even make 100,000. But I want you to put it inside the chat. Because here's what I've learned. We can have good income and still have no freedom. I've met individuals who make 100,000, 300,000, $1,000,000, and they still have no freedom. Because what I've learned, more money can fund bigger obligations. So what I'm saying is, we can have more income, but really, when I really think about it, we just have a more expensive paycheck to paycheck lifestyle. Look at the income, y'all. 150,000, 140,000, 105,000, 60,000. We got one who's at 25,000. So a lot of us have an expensive paycheck to paycheck lifestyle. What happens if you lose your job today? What happens if your income drops? What happens if an emergency happens? What happens if you missed your paycheck? You can't control the economy, but here's what we can do. We can control our preparation. I've learned this and I mean this, and man, I'm going to start teaching so many different things here starting in September. Y'all going to see me come on and do all kind of webinars, man. I'm thinking about doing a webinar specifically just on how to open up a savings account and how to fund it right, and how to do an extra $1,000, how to, which I owe you all this, how to open up an investment account, a brokerage account, and get that funded with just $25 in it, right? Because here's what I've learned. You can control how prepared you and your home is, but you cannot prepare what happens in the economy. But you can be prepared within your homes, but you can't control what happens out there. Can't. We can't. So the opportunity for this evening, what we're going to learn is we're going to shift a little bit of our attention to strategy and hope. Because every challenge that I've learned in life has another side. We're not stuck on a paycheck to paycheck lifestyle. We're not stuck on having no investment portfolio. We're not stuck on getting up every single day and exchanging our time for money for the rest of our life. Nah, that's not why I'm here. I'm not here for that, y'all. I'm here because I want to help you get out of consumer debt. I'm here because payments do not have to be a permanent thing in your life. I'm here because I want you to take your paycheck back. I want you to create breathing room and create margin within your life. I want you to have money left after all your obligations, because margin creates choices for us. And in order for us to get to that, we have to take control and get control of our money. You got to know what's coming in. You got to know where it's going. And we have to tell every single dollar where it's going. One of the things that I take from my grandmother all the time is that, are you prepared for when life happens? A bad day should not equal a financial disaster. Losing your job today, losing income today, economy going up should not equal a financial disaster. And what I've learned over the last 15 years, and even within my own personal life, is that when you got money sitting inside the account, security creates options. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question, and please put it in the chat. How many of you all actually want options in life? I want you to be honest with me. How many of you actually want options in life? Like, you want financial freedom. You want true options. Let me know. Let me know. I mean, I genuinely want to know how many of us who are on here tonight genuinely want options. Yeah. And I'm not talking about this. Watch this. I'm not talking about the Lamborghini options. I'm not talking about having millions of dollars in options. No, I'm talking about we want control, we want margin, we want security, we want options. Now, I'm not talking about we want the big 5, 6 bedroom house. I'm not talking about we want to fly on a private jet and have tax write offs. I'm not talking about we want to go buy the Mercedes G Wagon and have tax write offs. No, I'm talking about we want control of our money. We want margin within our life. We want security in our life. And we want options. If that's you, if you said me, I want y'all to flood the chat right now with the word freedom. I want to see freedom all over this chat. Because I want to tell y'all my story. I want to tell you my story, man. I know what it feels like to not have options. I know what it feels like to get up on a Wednesday, look at my bank account, go to work. I only got $6.32 to my name. I know what it feels like to get off of work, pull into a gas station, barely have enough gas to get me inside of the gas station. My car turns off right before I get there. And check this out. I got $6.32 to my name, 2005. 2005, $6.32 to my name. And every time I think about this story, I get a little emotional because I'm sitting here thinking if I do exactly what I saw my parents do, I'm just going to be vulnerable here with you all for a minute. I thought if I can just, get up, go to work. I had to report to work at 8 a.m. I got to work at 7:15 a.m. to open up the office to get ready for our team members to come in. I thought that if I'm a good man on that job and I say yes sir and I do what the big boss tell me to do and I take care of my people and I get off at 5:30, but because I was a supervisor, I didn't leave there till 6 o'clock because I had to make sure that I locked up. I thought that if I did that Monday through Friday, I'm going to be okay. I thought that if I just go get a job and just work 40 hours and just do that, I will be okay. And here I am, busting my rear end, pulling into a gas station on a Wednesday, and I don't get paid until Friday, and I got $6.32 to my name. I put my card inside of the machine. It authorized my card for $1. I fill up my gas tank so I can have gas the rest of Wednesday, all day Thursday to get me the paycheck to payday on Friday. I go to McDonald's. I get 2 cheeseburgers. I get 2 iced teas. I go back home. I got some Doritos at the house. I cut the burgers in half. And while I'm cutting up the burgers, I start crying. Because I remember it like it was yesterday. I'm cutting it with a butter knife. And I'm cutting it and I see the pickle. And I cut down half of that pickle, put them into both sides, and I see the paper is ripped. And I'm like, why am I cutting a cheeseburger on a Wednesday night? Why am I going to go to bed somewhat hungry when I'm going to get up at 6:30 in the morning to go work for another man? And I don't have enough money to eat. I don't have enough money to put gas in my car. What in the world? I had no options. I had no freedom. I had no margin. Ooh, I didn't say this on Tuesday, but can I be honest with you? And I say this respectfully, and I love everybody, but a white man was getting the fruit of my hard labor. That's not a racist comment. That's the truth. I'm getting up every single day to go work for another man who happened to be white. He gets me for 8 hours a day. He's getting the fruit of my labor, and I'm coming back home with no options, with no freedom. And how many of us tonight can honestly relate to that. That Anthony, I'm busting my butt. Anthony, I'm a single mother. Anthony, I'm doing it and I still don't have freedom. I still don't have freedom. I don't have enough time to even see and be with my children as much as I want. But here's my big revelation. There has to be another way. There has to be another way. I remember going home when I got paid on Friday, and I said, there gotta be another way. And watch this. I wasn't thinking about portfolios. I just knew that I couldn't go another week living like this. And so I had to look at my black behind in the mirror. And I had to face the truth about me. Not about President Trump, not about Barack Obama, not about Joe Biden at that time, not about Bill Clinton. I had to, watch this, I couldn't even blame my friends, the ladies I was trying to impress, the brothers I was trying to impress, the people I was around. I had to look at my black behind in the mirror. And when I did that, money changed. Money changed after I was honest with myself, after I stopped lying to myself, after responsibility came without shame. When I realized that the caliber of my present was determined by the poor financial choices I was making from my past, everything changed. I realized that I was stuck. I realized that I put me here. Now, I want to ask you this question and I want to give you some answers. What does stuck actually look like? Let me tell you, because we see it all the time in the church. Payday comes, but the money is already gone. Stick with me. Give me 45 more minutes. We get paid, and before we get paid, another man or another woman or another company is getting the fruit of our labor before our children and before our home does. Our lifestyle grew when we got an increase. We got a pay raise. We got our bonus check. We got a refund from the IRS. We went on trips. we went on vacation. We went on cruises. We went out of town. We went on spring break with our kids. What are the symptoms? You're relying on debt to cover your emergencies. You're relying on credit card, payday loan advances. You're relying on private loans. What are the symptoms? You're earning well, but you ain't building and saving no money. Yeah, you making good money, but you ain't saving nothing. Now, and I'm gonna say this, and I mean this with all due respect. Man, I'm gonna say this, and I don't want to get in no trouble, but I just want to be honest because I love us, man. When I say I'm all for black people, I'm all for kingdom people, so I love everybody. But I have a passion for my black brothers and sisters. But man, we know how to look successful. There's this old saying that we know how to not look like what the hell we're going through. And when I mean that, like what the enemy is putting us through, black people, we have really learned really good on how not to look like that. So we know how to look successful, but feel financially insecure. We know how to look like everything is good, but we on the inside, we're crying, we're miserable, we're depressed. Come on, man. I'm just going to go there. On the outside, we look like we good, but some of us feel like committing suicide. On the outside, we're smiling, but on the inside, we're like, why am I even alive? I can't even enjoy my life. Anybody know that feeling? But put it in the chat for me. But put it in the chat for me. Do any of you all recognize any of these symptoms? Be honest. I want you to be honest with us on this evening. And I'm trying not to get emotional myself. But when I realized what was controlling my money, it pissed me off. I and I'm a Christian, man. I love the Lord. I wish I could see my new office, man. I got books all around my office, and I got my plaques. And a lot of you all don't know that I was blessed and fortunate enough to be ordained a pastor. And I quickly realized that God was disappointed in me because I was not a good steward with his finances. I wasn't. I wasn't. I had to quickly realize what was controlling my money. Debt. And when I looked at the debt, I would say 75% of the debt that I had wasn't for necessities. It was just to please my flesh. What was controlling my money? The lifestyle. I wanted to look a certain kind of way, and I wasn't mature enough to tell myself, boy, you don't need to live on this side of the city. You need to go to not the worst side, not the unsafe side, but you need to go somewhere in the middle. But I wanted to look like I got it. What was the next thing that was controlling my life? Impulse. Jump on Instagram, jump on TikTok shop. I see this thing for $8 today. I got a relative right now that every single week they got at least 5 packages coming from Amazon because of impulse purchasing. What was controlling? If I'm gonna be honest with you all, other people's expectations. Not even just other people's expectations, but watch this. Me, because I wanted. Oh, yeah. Some of y'all may get a little upset with me tonight. Some of y'all may get a little upset with me tonight, but watch this. Some of you all are in a financial bad situation right now. Or some of you all have an excessive amount of debt because you wanted to get the picture to post on social media because you saw somebody else have that or did that or went there, so you wanted to have the same thing. So you put it on a credit card. So you borrowed money from your savings account to go take a picture when you really didn't even want to go. I'm going to say this, and I need y'all to put this in the chat. It is the truth, and I'm coming from where this is coming from me. Here's what I've learned. And I need someone to type this in the chat. If all y'all could type it, because I need everyone to see this. Image can become expensive. The image that you want to create can be the hindrance of you building true wealth. Oof. And I'm just downloading from God literally as I'm speaking right now. Your image that you're trying to create is the barrier between God trying to bless you with what he really wants for you because he can't get through the image that you want. So facing the truth will set you free. The Bible says it. The Bible says it. The truth will set you free. Numbers aren't judging you. Numbers are informing you of where you are. And here's the truth, y'all. We cannot change what we are unwilling to confront. Can't. Zig Ziglar said it himself. He said, man, if you aim at nothing, you're going to hit nothing. And what I've learned with money is that money needs a target. Money needs a destination. The money has to connect directly to a vision. But here's why a lot of people stay stuck. Because they have no clear vision, plus, watch this, no plan for their money. I hear everyone always say, man, I wish. No. The reason why you are in debt today, the reason why the majority of you all are saying, if I just had debt going and savings, Because if you really ask yourself, have you really sat down and had a clear vision and had a clear plan for your money? Because I'm going to give it to you. Most of us have wishes and we do not have a vision. Most of us have wishes, but we do not have a vision. So I'm going to ask these questions, and you don't have to answer these inside the chat. I want you to answer these out loud wherever you are right now. If nothing changes financially over the next 5 years, where will you be? If nothing changes from today and you're in the same place you are today in the next 5 years, with AI coming, with new technology coming, where will you be? What would margin actually change in your life? If you had some extra money after all your expenses, what would change in your life if you had margin every single month? I'm going to ask you this question that's different on the screen. If you had 3 to 6 months of expenses in your savings account, would some of y'all still be on your job today? Ooh, uh-oh. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm going to go there because I think a lot of people don't want to have this conversation. And I'm going to say it as a man. Ladies, if if you had 6 months, if you had $15,000, $25,000 that's sitting inside your checking account right now with a decent job, would you still be with that man you're dealing with, keeping on the side today? What would financial freedom allow you to say yes to? I really want you to ask that. I want you to ask yourself that too. Don't put it inside the chat. I got 3 screens right here in front of me. This is the camera. These are my notes. Y'all are over here chatting. But I really want to ask you this question. What would financial freedom, if you had real freedom, what would you say yes to? Yo, Mary said, what man? What would you say yes to? I'm letting that breathe a little bit because I really do want you to think about that. I remember when I was sitting at my house and I asked myself for the very first time about 13, 14 years ago, hold on, I'm 42, so I really changed my money right around 26, 27. I remember asking myself, like, man, if I had freedom, if money was not an issue, what would I say yes to and what would I say no to? Now that you've asked yourself that question, I want to ask you this simple question. Not really a simple question, but I want to give you 3 myths. 3 myths that I believe that is keeping not just you, but all of us from financial freedom. And these are the same myths that was keeping me financially, I would say, gone. All right. Fix that right there. There we go. This is the thing I don't like about my webinars because it's like, boy, I be having a whole script of notes right here, right? But then God be giving me something else. I want y'all to just remember this. And literally, I just got this downloaded. Before we can even talk about the strategy, we got to address the mind. Because what we believe is what we actually end up seeing. What we believe is what we actually end up speaking. So if I believe I can't be rich, if I believe I can't be wealthy, if I believe I can't have freedom, if I believe that I'll never be debt free, I'm going to see a life that is giving me exactly what I see. And I'm going to speak that out loud. And no matter what I see from others, watch this, you can see someone debt free, but because you believe you can't be free, because you have this myth in your head that you can't be free, watch this, watch this. Ooh, God just gave it to me. This is when people start saying, oh, he lying, she ain't debt free. Like, I am sometimes baffled when I hear people say, Anthony is not debt free. Anthony did not pay cash for his car. So what you're doing is you're projecting your belief that you can't do it on me. Good boy. 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 So I want to go through 3 myths that you got to get rid of. These are not myths that we need to be believing. Here's myth number 1. I just need to make more money. Income just feels like an obvious answer here, right? If I just make more money, I'll be all right. No. Let me paint a picture for you. With this myth, when more arrives, more is going to disappear. Why doesn't the raise actually help us? How is it that a lot of us have received an income check or a refund check from the government and we're still in the same place we were? You got more money. Why is it that some of us have gotten pay raises, that we've gotten, different jobs with more income? We've even gotten a second job. So you've gotten more money, but more has disappeared. You keep making more. Let's just be honest. The raise came, lifestyle followed. You got more money. Some of us got a better car. You got more money. You took a trip with your girls. You got more money. Oh, we need a bigger home because our children need their own bedrooms. And what I've learned is that every raise, every extra set of income, every extra penny that we have is just becomes another obligation. And so what has happened is we've never given ourselves to create margin, because what we did is we've gotten more income and we just spent more money. You still don't have more even after you've gotten more money. I want to paint this picture for you clearly. I'm going to take me off of the screen because I really want you to see this, right? I really want you to see this. You got 3 people here. Person A makes $5,000. And my vanilla brother has $6,000 going out. So this simply means what? That he has a negative of $1,000 in margin. Now, person B, right? Got $5,000 coming in. She's a single mother. She got maybe 1 kid, 2 kids. But she got $5,000 going out. She got more than 1 mouth to feed. Unfortunately, in this situation, she ain't got no margin. Now, I wish I could put like half woman, half man here because I don't want to make it seem like it's a man, right? But here's the thing, person C. Let's say this is a man or person C is a woman. If you're a woman, put a woman's face there, all right? This person got $5,000 coming in, but only got $4,000 going out between all of his expenses, between all of her expenses. This means this individual, person C, got what? $1,000 in margin. Who is the strongest person here? Person A, person B, person C. Who would you like to be today? Person A, person B, person C. Take away their face, take away their titles. Would you rather have a negative $1,000 a month, 0 margin, or would you rather have an extra $1,000 or extra margin every single month? And watch this. These are fake people who I don't know. But these numbers represent real people who I do know. And that bothers me. It bothers me, y'all, that people are in this. Here's the truth. More income doesn't create freedom if your lifestyle keeps growing with it. Listen, don't get me wrong. I don't want to sit here and act like income doesn't matter, because income does matter. But margin must grow faster than your income. Your lifestyle, our dreams, our wants. Watch this. I'm going to go there for the Christian people. Our flesh cannot consume every single increase God gives us. More income alone doesn't create financial freedom. Because if I give you $1 million, you're just going to spend $1.1 million. I want to give you the margin effect. I want to give you the margin effect of what I believe, and this is what I teach within our community. This is what I'm teaching within inside of our platform and within our system and strategy here is margin. Everyone is talking about make more money. We have a lot of financial influencers out there in the world talking about make $1 million in a month. Do this, do that. Cool, great. I love all of that, right? But man, y'all, we got to get to the basics. We got to get to the basics. As someone described me the other, I think it was sometime last year, and I loved it. They said, man, yeah, you're not LeBron James of finances. You're not. You're not. You're the Tim Duncans. I was like, huh. He was like, and Tim Duncan has more rings than LeBron James. I was like, huh. Tim Duncan may not be a billionaire, but he is wealthy. The brother ain't hurting for nothing. Huh. And he said, and how did he get there? Basics. Basics. We're not going to have the LeBrons, the Michael Jordans, right? But we can have a bunch of Steph Currys. We can have a bunch of Tim Duncans. We can have a bunch of solid people who just focus on the basic stuff and be millionaires. I say, yo. So I want to teach you all the margin effect, right? I want to walk you through the sequence of what happened for me. Here's the very, very first thing. Let me pull this up for you all. Here's the thing that I focus on. When I get my income, right? When I get my income, the flavor, my voice is low. It's showing real green on my end. So let me know if you all can hear me clearly, or if it is low. If it is low, turn up your speaker. But I haven't seen anybody else say my voice is you can't hear me. But here's what I focus on when it comes to my income, right? I get my income. Followed by that, I get control. I get control. Watch this. My money is not telling me what it's doing. I'm telling my money what it's doing. I need y'all to write this down. Take screenshots. I'm going to take myself off of the screen. I need you to take a screenshot, because this is the margin effect. Income. Followed by I have control of my money. Followed by now, if I have control of my money, I create now margin. Now that I have margin, here we go. I'm going to take myself off the screen. Now, because I have margin, meaning that if I have 5,000 coming in, right? And I got 4,000 going out, this means I have $1,000 in margin. Now, that's my greatest wealth building tool. Let me take myself off the screen so y'all can see what's coming up next. I need y'all to take a screenshot of this one, right? Now, because I have an extra $1,000, now I can do several things. I can save money, or I can pay off consumer debt. I can save money. I can pay off any consumer debt that I have. And what's the next one? I can now invest. Now with these, here's the margin effect. Okay? This is where the next time, not next time, but what comes up next, you need to take a screenshot. Freedom. Take a screenshot, post it, tag me online, tag me on Instagram. This is the margin effect. This is how we get to freedom, family. When we get income, we got to have control of that income. When we have control of that income, aka a budget, aka we're giving every dollar an assignment, that now puts us in a position to now have margin. Once we have margin, now we can start attacking off any consumer debt. We can start putting money into a high yield savings. We can even start investing. That now creates margin. I want to bring myself back up on the screen. I was interviewing one of my good friends, Darrell, and his beautiful wife, Samantha. They are this guru around really relationships and how do you build wealth together. And he says something on the show that I thought was just brilliant, and I'm stealing it from him, right? Because when you get around people who think like you and we're all trying to do something, we all learn something from each other, right? My man said, I am planting a seed today that will grow a tree. Watch this. Oh my gosh. He said, and it's going to grow a tree, and the tree is going to have branches. Watch this. Those branches are going to provide shade for me and my children's children. Shade means I'm free from the sun. Let's go deeper. Shade means I'm free from the heat. Yeah. So now I plant this seed. It grows a tree. It provides shade, freedom from the heat that heat can kill. So now, because I get my income, I'm able to get control of it. Because I can get control of it, I have margin. Now that I have margin, I'm able to plant that margin into a brokerage account. I'm able to plant that margin into a 401k. I'm able to plant this margin into a home. I'm able to plant this margin into tithe and offerings. I'm able to plant this margin into a business. I'm able to plant this margin into accounts that provide freedom for me and my wife, for me and my spouse, for me and my children, for me and my children's children. Oh my God. Let's bring it back up for you. That's the margin effect. Financial freedom starts with margin. It does not start with more money. Doesn't start there. Doesn't start there. So now I want to ask you a question, and I want you to be honest with me. Put it inside the chat. And be honest. Do not lie. Do you need more income or do you need more margin? I didn't ask, do you want more income? I said, do you need more margin or do you need more income? Talk to me. Talk to me. And margin pretty much means, let me give you the basic understanding of what margin is. It is usable money. Margin is simply more of my money that I can use for whatever I want to do. I love it. I love it. Let's go on to myth number 2. 30 more minutes. I'm going to get y'all up out of here. Living paycheck to paycheck is normal. Let me be honest with you. Living paycheck to paycheck is common, but common doesn't make it normal. Just because something is frequent, right, doesn't mean that it's healthy. But here's how survival gets normalized. We get paid. Once we get paid, we do what? Pay our bills. Once we pay our bills, and what happens? We have nothing left over. Then what happens? It just repeats. It repeats. And what happens is we do this every single time we get paid on the 1st of the month, 15th of the month, 30th of the month, every other week, however you get paid. We get paid, we pay our bills, we have nothing left over. And we just do it. And then now what happens is, because we're just repeating this for years and for years and for years, we stop questioning it. It just becomes normal. Y'all, I normalized the $6.32. I thought this was normal. I thought living paycheck to paycheck and do it. Can I be honest with you? I know sometimes my mom and my dad they watch this, and I don't want to be disrespectful to my parents, but here's the truth. Here's what I've learned. The reason why I normalized it is because I saw my mom cover it up. Because I saw my mom work 3 jobs just to make sure that we could have Christmas. I I saw my parents work hard so that we didn't feel the pain. But they were living paycheck to paycheck. And they were doing it out of love because our parents love us, right? So what I did is I just reduplicated what I saw. Honestly, if I'm being honest with you, I thought it was adulthood. I thought it was just adulting. I guess it's just part of life. Work, pay your bills, live as long as you can. Y'all read the slide. Here's the truth. Common doesn't mean it's normal, and normal doesn't mean that it's healthy. But we could choose something different. I believe the old American dream is so freaking outdated. I'm tired of it. The old American dream is look successful, finance the lifestyle, keep up with the Joneses, keep working, and just repeat it. That's what I saw my family do. That's what I saw my parents do. Put on the good suits, go to church, shout, run around, believe that God is going to provide more, and repeat it. Go to work and repeat it. I don't know about y'all. That's not the dream that I want. Let me show you the dream that I believe is for us. Where we live in a world where we create margin, where we own more, where we own homes, where we own real estate, where we own businesses, where we owe less, where we're building true financial security, where we're buying back our time. Where we're no longer having to repeat the I almost curse, y'all, because I get so passionate about this message, but cursing is not necessary. We don't have to live the life that we saw our parents and grandparents do. Let me bring me back up on the screen because y'all just gonna have to just get this download from me tonight. They say that the average person will die at 76. The old American dream made people work until 76. What? And I don't want to be offensive to anybody who came here who's not a Christian, but I just got to be who I authentically am. How is it that my God came to give me life and life more abundantly? But when I go back to see him, I was working like a Hebrew freaking slave on earth. What is abundant about spending your entire life working for another man or woman to die to go home to be with the Lord? You didn't get no freedom. There's no abundance. Yes, we had a long life. Yes, we was able to live, and I'm grateful for that. But that old American dream, looking like you good, but you ain't got no freedom. You smell good, but you don't have no freedom. Nah, man. No. I want y'all to take a picture of this. And I want you all to look at this every single day for the next 7 days. And I want you to be like, yo, I want the new American dream. I want the new American dream. Because when I think about this, man, and I'm speaking for me, and I'm just speaking from my place of where God has really brought me from. And when I talk to, we've had over 100,000 families literally go through what we teach. And I've asked, I can't say all 100,000 of them, but one of the most common things that I hear when they get out of consumer debt is, and they have freedom and they have margin, is that, man, I have breathing room, I have peace, I have control, and I have options. I don't hear a lot from our community sitting here saying, man, y'all was able to buy the Lamborghini. No, I'm hearing mothers say, man, I can I can take my kids on a Disney. Man, I cried. I can say I cried. I don't want to be. I don't want to lie, right? I don't want to sound like I'm trying to be this fake guy. No, no, no. But let me say this. It was about, yeah, it was earlier this year, January, February, and one of the young ladies who I've been mentoring and walking her through my escape plan that I'm gonna give you all tonight. She said, "Thank you, Anthony." She said, "Man, your escape plan put me in a position to where this summer, for the first time, she's taking her children. She has three children on the Disney World cruise. For three children, she said it's costing her a little over $10,000. She makes $68,000 a year, and she was able to save and pay for that cash, not put it on the credit card. And she said, for some people, that may sound like, oh my God, that's not a big deal. But she said that the fact that I can go on the Disney World cruise, spend $10,000 of my money, and go on that cruise and not be stressed about I got to come back home and figure out how I'm going to pay for this cruise, that I can actually be there and be present and have fun with my kids. I don't know about y'all, but that's peace. That's options. And my brand, I don't want to sell you a dream. I want to sell you options. I don't want to sell you stuff. I want to sell you breathing room. And that's what we provide here. Here's the last myth. Here's the last myth. I'll start when I make more money. Waiting delays control. Let me just leave it right there. All right. Here are some of the things that I think I need y'all to understand. And some of y'all hear this. Some of y'all say this yourself. When I get my raise, I'm going to be better. If I get a bonus, things will settle down. Yep. Yep. When the kids get older, when things settle down, yeah, I get it. I get it. But here's the thing. Something's always going to come up. There's always another condition. And let's be honest, I'm going to say this respectfully. We keep moving the starting line. Let's go to the first one. You got the raise, right? Now it's like, okay, I got the raise, but you know what? Prices are too high. I'm going to wait. But wait, you just said last time you just want to get the raise. Yeah, but you know what? My kids are young, and I was thinking about it. I just wait till they get older. You know what? My kids are going now, but you know what? I'm gonna wait because I just want to wait for the bonus check to come. Like, we always make excuses, and what I've learned is this: that financial freedom doesn't start when you make more money. It starts when you take control of what you already have. Financial freedom is not going to start when you make more. Financial freedom is not going to start when you get the bonus. It's not going to start when your kids get older. Watch this. I'm sorry, mama and daddy. It's not going to start when your kids leave your house to go to school or to go out on their own. It starts when you take control of what you have right now. It starts. That's when it starts. It doesn't start when you think it starts. No, it starts when you take control. And here is what I've had to learn, man. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need a plan. And the plan has to start with your next paycheck. You just need a plan. And you just need a plan that has a step-by-step situation. And you got to start today. If I'm being honest, a lot of us needed to start last week. So I got a couple of questions for you. And I want you to type freedom in the chat if this is you. Who here has believed at least one of these myths? And then also, Who here is ready to build a different financial future? Like, who here is ready to experience something different within the next 12 to 18 months of their life? So by this time next year, you are in a different financial situation than what you were today. Just put freedom inside the chat. That's good. That's good. Now, I love this. I'm seeing freedom like crazy. I'm seeing freedom like crazy in the chat. I love it. Now, here's what I'm gonna do. I want to show you how. So we talked about the myths. We talked about what's going on. I want to give you the practical things of how. Like, how do we really get financial freedom? Because I really do believe that new American financial freedom, well, I'll say this, the new American dream that I showed you all, we could do it. So I have this thing called the new American financial freedom framework, right? That I believe is really going to help you tremendously. Here's the framework. You got to get control. We got to create margin. We got to get security. Once we get security, we're going to get the freedom. Freedom then generates us wealth. This is the framework. Take a screenshot of this. Take a screenshot of it, all right? The new American Dream financial freedom framework is this. Control. Control leads to margin. Once we have margin, margin would then lead to security. Security leads to freedom, and freedom then leads to wealth. There's a reason why I didn't put rich there. I don't want you rich. Because rich simply means you've made a lot of money today. Wealth means, which is the end goal for a lot of people. You see, my goal for my company is really not to get you wealthy, it's to get you free. And then when you get to freedom, you determine what you want from there. If you want to go after massive wealth from a financial perspective, cool, great. One of my friends asked me today, me and him was talking, one of my frat brothers, and he said, Anthony, how much money do you need to be happy? I said, well, let me put it like this. Let me text you my number, but don't look at it. I want you to tell me yours. So I want to text you my number without you even seeing it, but I want you to tell me yours. When he told me his, my number, watch this, was 3 times lower than his. I said, bro, because I want freedom. I don't really care about crazy millions. Do I need millions for my number? Yes. Everyone's talking about, because the conversation came up because we were talking about the Lakers and the 6 children that are not the 6, because one of them doesn't want to sell it, but I think it's 4 or 5 of them, they want to sell it. And if they were to sell it, they'll all get what, $1 billion and some change after, the sale of it each, right? And I was like, man, that's a lot of money. I don't need that. That's just a lot of taxes, a lot of responsibility. I don't need it. Will I deny it? No. But do I need it? No. Here's what I need to have freedom in my life. And this is the framework that's going to get you to freedom. That freedom from there, yes, can produce wealth. You see, the new American dream, the path to financial freedom, right? Freedom, I've learned, doesn't happen accidentally. You have to follow a place, or I would say this, you have to follow a sequence of things. I've had the opportunity to sit down with 100, watch this, 100 millionaires who are worth 50 million or more. And when I sat down with these individuals, all of them, different kind of career paths, different kind of businesses, but I found a lot of things in common. One of the very first things that I found in common that we're not going to really talk about tonight was they were generous. They gave to local churches and to nonprofits. Like, they were super generous, not because it's a tax play, but because they just really believe in generosity and having a spirit of giving. That was one. Then the second thing was that I found that was the most common thing between all 100 of them is that they all had a strategy and a plan that they followed. So some of you all are going to be asking me, okay, AO, where does it start? Like, where do I start? And I want you to read this. I want you to see this. Financial freedom starts with margin. Financial freedom does not start with a bigger check. No. Financial freedom starts with margin. Okay? It starts with your margin. Starts with your margin. You get your paycheck, you have control. Once you have control, now you're going to see some more money. Now you have margin. Now that you have margin, you have security. Now that you have security, now you're starting to create some freedom in your life. Now, freedom in your life then generates wealth. But here's the truth. You cannot build wealth on instability. We want to go from living paycheck to paycheck, struggling, to making millions. But I really do believe that there is a reason. There's a reason why God wants you to go in small steps to get there and small phases to get there. Because every phase is going to mature you. It's going to make you wiser. And I would hate for you to go from living paycheck to paycheck on 50 grand to where now God is paying you $1 million and you don't have the wisdom to sustain and to multiply the million. I'm so grateful that God is just now allowing me to see millions. He's not just now. I've been doing it for quite some time now, but I'm glad that God has put me in a position to where I can see that. But even today on my call with my boy, I was like, bro, I can even do a little bit better. But I'm wise to understand that. I'm wise to understand that, hey, you know what? I could do a little bit better. I had just bought a brand new house. Here's a good example. I had just bought not a brand new house, but an older home in an older neighborhood. And man, it's outdated, y'all. The toilets are getting on my nerves in this house. It's getting on my nerves. Man, the paint is horrible because this house was built about 25 something years ago. I'm like, yo, I came in this house and said, yo, I'm going to drop a bag over here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then it hit me one day. I was like, bro, why are you rushing the process? Chill. Wisdom comes, knowledge comes at every season. And if you skip over certain seasons and over certain things, man, you're going to get this money and you're not going to keep it. And you're going to put yourself into a deeper and a worse situation. You cannot build wealth on instability. Can't. Because here's what you got to remember. Knowing and not doing. Knowing doesn't equal doing. Okay? Knowing doesn't equal doing. Now, I don't want y'all to just screenshot this one because I need you to find your next step. Because if you do not do it, you do not know it. Because if you knew it, you would have done it. Sorry. Here's step one. Let's talk about it. Control. You got to know what's coming in and you got to know what's going out. You got to make the plan before the month begins. This is what I call a zero-based budget that leads to margin. I was watching some financial creators and they said that budgeting doesn't work. And I'm like, I don't see how budgeting can't work. Is it fun to do? No, not gonna lie. I've been doing it now for years. But I've never met a team tell me showing up to practice every single day and running back and forth on the court or running miles or doing this is fun. No, but freedom is going to require some level of sacrifice, some level of discipline. But when you get to freedom, I don't know about y'all, but freedom is fun for me. So I'm going to create a budget that is going to keep me in my lane of freedom and building wealth. And I'm not going to allow my immaturity to be the hindrance or be the reason why I do not get to freedom because I said boring doesn't work. I mean, not boring. Budgeting doesn't work and budgeting is no fun and budgeting, I feel like I'm in bondage and budgeting, oh my God, I got to be strict on myself. Nah, man, I don't know about y'all. While budgeting is not the funnest thing that I do in my life, but a budget gives me permission to enjoy the freedom in my life. Oof. Budgeting gives me the freedom to enjoy the freedom, not the freedom, budgeting gives me the freedom, not the freedom, the enjoyment to enjoy the freedom in my life. Budgeting is not a punishment. Budgeting is actually the best thing I could do. Step two, you got to create margin. You got to get to a place to where you have a surplus of money after you pay your expenses. Because margin, I need you to remember this, margin creates movement. Margin creates movement. Now, once you get margin back in your life, because where do you create the margin at? In your budget. You create margin inside of your budget. I'm going to say this one more time. You create margin inside of your budget. Anthony, how am I creating margin inside my budget? It's easy. Why do you have 15 apps on Apple right now that you don't even really use every single day? Why do you have Netflix, Hulu, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Prime, all these? No. Why do you have, you're a beautiful woman. Why do you have 5 different apps that's going to make you look better, you think? Why are you going grocery shopping? You're spending $100 on groceries, but then you eat out at least 2-3 times a week. So we find the margin inside of our budget. Then once we have margin, what's the next thing we do? We get safe. We set aside 1 month of our net pay. 1 month of our net pay inside of a high yield savings account. For example, if you make $5,000 a month, then you need to put $5,000 a month inside of a high yield savings account. Speaking of that, how many of you all, as a matter of fact, I want to put this in the chat for you. Because some of you all right now do not even have a high yield savings. And I want to make sure that you all open up the right high yield savings tonight. I don't know why I just want to get in there. So here you go. The best high yield savings accounts. Go to anthonyoneal.com/savings. All right. anthonyoneal.com/savings. I just put it inside of the chat, and I'll put it inside of the show notes for the replay. Y'all, if you have your money still sitting in a regular bank account, I need y'all to move that tonight, because you're getting 0.01 to 0.03%. And remember, this is about creating margin. This is about how do we get our money to start making us money. So if you're going to get safe tonight, then what I need you to do is I need you to move your money into a high yield savings account that's going to give you 3 to 4% a year. So this means that you'll start seeing 10, 20, 30, 40, and depending on how much you have in there, up to $100, $200, $300, maybe even $500 a month, depending on how much you have inside of your particular savings account. I'll tell y'all the truth about my high yield savings. When I first opened it up, they gave me $300. I went to SoFi. They gave me $300 just for opening up the account and putting $100 in it. And I even have a direct deposit going to the account from my business. And then because I have an account with that amount of money in there, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That's my money and what I use to go out on dates if I go out on a date. My money is making me money. So for an example, if my money made me $250 last month, well then my budget for September is going to be, I got $250 spent on a date. Anthony budgets dates. And I'm not spending a whole bunch of money on the first date with some woman who I do not know, who I may or may not go out on a second date with. I'll start making real investments when we start seeing, okay, this is something that we both want to experience and move forward with. All right, bet, cool. Now I'm gonna start investing a little bit more. But until then, if my money made $250, if it made $350, I got that in my budget. But that's because I have a high yield savings account that is now generating me more money. You see? Everything I'm talking about when it comes to freedom, we get the freedom by margin. But I want to show you something. How do we get to wealth? Here's the key ingredient to get to wealth. Is you got to get in a position to where your time is not your only source of income. Your income is making you income while you're sleeping. And when your income is making you income without you having to put any actual time in, what is now happening is you're putting your money in a position to maybe one day you no longer have to exchange your time for money because your money bought back your time and you no longer have to go to work. And having a high yield savings account is one of the best ways to do that. So go to anthonyo'neill.com/savings, man, and open up the account tonight before you go to sleep. Don't make no excuses. Now, here's step number 4. You got to eliminate your consumer debt. All right? Got to. If you got margin of $1,000, let's say you got $650 in debt. Now that means technically you got about $350 in margin. What is this showing us? That debt, consumer debt, steals margin. And the less margin we have, that's the less resources we have to build freedom. The quickest way to get out of debt is, let me show you. It's a debt snowball method. I talk about this in the escape plan. This is how you list all your debt from smallest to largest. You make minimum payments on everything. You attack the smallest balance first. You pay it off, and then you roll that payment into the next one. Oftentimes, you hear a lot of people talk about the debt avalanche. No, yeah, on math and on paper, well, that makes sense. But for human beings with emotions who need to see some quick wins, doesn't work for us. Doesn't work. We need to see quick wins, because when we see quick wins, it builds momentum, it builds excitement. We want to keep going. And here's step 5. You build security. So now once we pay off all of our consumer debt, we now do 3 to 6 months of net pay. So we have a breathing room of 1 month in the very beginning, then we get down to 3 to 6 months after we pay off our consumer debt. Now, a lot of you all know me from my previous situation, and I totally understand it. And I used to say 3 to 6 months of expenses, but we're in 2026. The rules that used to work for us 15, 20 years ago, pre-COVID, is not working anymore. I need to get us in a position to where we can start, if when life happens, not a matter of if, when life hits us with something, we can still operate off of our slow side of our brain. You see, our brain works off of two sides, fast side, slow side. If we have $1,000, or let's say we have $1,000 in our emergency account, and we lose our job, and we cannot get a job, we cannot find a job for about 60 days. Now what's going to happen? We're going to operate off of our fast side of the brain, and when we operate off of the fast side of our brain, we tend to make what? The wrong decision. But if we can have 30 days to where we don't have to worry about nothing, we don't have to change no lifestyle, I don't have to take my child out of daycare, I don't have to go apply for unemployment if I don't want to. Like, I have time to actually sit back, talk to my spouse, talk to my mentors, and talk to some friends, and maybe talk to a counselor, and maybe work out. Now we're going to be making calculated decisions. Same thing with 3 months of expenses compared to 3 months of what you actually make. I want you at a point to where you do not have to change your lifestyle at all, that your family doesn't have to stop anything. Because when you do that, your back is not against the wall, and you're not going to make a hasty decision. And I even really do think this, and I'm going to say this respectfully. I think that if some of you all had 6 months of your net pay inside the account right now, a lot of you all would quit the job that you're at, because you know it's not a part of your purpose and your assignment. I think that a lot of you all, a lot of ladies, especially if you had 6 months of your income, some of y'all wouldn't even be with the boyfriend that you have right now. And let me go there. Some of y'all probably would not even have married the man that you married. Let me be quiet. Here's step 6. Invest consistently. Invest consistently. We've got control of our money. We got rid of consumer debt. We've got margin in our life. We got 3 to 6 months save. We got 1 month buffer. Actually, it's 3 months, 3 to 6 months buffer. Now we invest. And now we look into index fund, a good ETF. Now we're looking at a 401k. Y'all, like, now we're really doing something. Listen. How do I say this? I want you to do whatever you want to do. I want you to invest in the Bitcoin, crypto. I want you to do it all. I just want you to do it when the foundation is laid correctly. That's it. I, I want you to be Tim Duncan. Once you get a Tim Duncan level, you got the basics master, and you got a couple of rings on you, you got a couple of belts on you. Like you that woman, you that dude. You want to get to LeBron James level? You want to get to Michael Jordan level? All right, bet. You want to get to Kobe level? All right, bet. Let's go. Get the foundational. Get get the foundational. And, and I don't want to be disrespectful. Allen Iverson had the sickest crossover. He ain't got no rings. Derrick Rose, one of the best, fanciest basketball players. He ain't got no rings. They came out the gate trying to be this. They ain't got no rings. They ain't got no rings. But look at some of the most basic, skilled, consistent, determined players. Family, this is financial freedom. This is financial freedom. Time with family, ability to change jobs, ability to be generous and give, ability to rest, ability to travel, ability to build something that you want to build, and the ability to say no. This is financial freedom. So I want to ask you this question. Where are you right now? Where are you? Put the number inside the chat. Do you need to get control of your money? Do you need to get margin in your life? Do you need to build your safety net? Do you need to pay off your consumer debt? Do you need to secure and get 3 to 6 months? Or do you need to get invest? Like, where are you? What number are you right now? Type your number inside of the chat. Type your number inside of the chat. Where are you literally right now? And be honest. This is not no shame. There's no shame in this. You could be at level 1. Cool, great. When you know where you are, this is how we change. This is how we get better. I'm seeing the numbers. I'm loving this, man. This is really good. So tonight, man, listen. Goals are not vision. Money funds the life. Why margin? Why wealth? And I got to ask this question: what life are you building? Because money simply needs a purpose that's bigger than money itself. And sometimes when I talk about I need you to set the vision for your finances, a lot of people ask me what is the vision? Like, how do I set a vision for my money? And I want y'all to take a screenshot of this next one. I'm about to break it down for you so you can understand this, right? Here's your financial vision. Number 1, we got to start from the top. All right, we got to start from the top. The vision. What does freedom look like for you? What does freedom look like? I'm not talking about, man, I want to go buy this luxury. No. What does financial freedom look like to you? Then once you write the vision down, right, you got to write down the goals. What must happen financially for me to accomplish and get to the vision? Once you write down the goals, then you got to have habits. What must change every single month for me to hit the financial goals, for me to ultimately hit the vision? But the foundation is always going to start on, what is my next step? What is the plan? What is the strategy? If I have the strategy and the plan, it tells me what I need to do monthly, to hit my goals. And if I hit the goals, I'm going to hit the ultimate vision. This is your financial vision. This is what you need to take a screenshot, and you need to come up with this and and post this. I'm talking about in your office if you got one, on your phone. If you're married, you and your spouse need to have this conversation. Got to. Because you got to own your own vision. Your vision should not be what Instagram is saying you should have or want, what TikTok is saying you should have or want. No, what do you want? Do you want to be debt free? Do you want to have some margin in your life? Do you want to look at your bank account every single morning and see 6 months reserve just sitting there? You don't even have to touch it, and you're watching it grow inside of your high yield savings account. Do you actually want to own your home one day? I'm not talking about just be a home owner paying a mortgage. No, no, no. Do you want to own it? You have no mortgage? Do you want to leave a job that you just do not like? Every time you got to pray every time you go in. What is vision? What does freedom mean to you? Because the truth of the fact is, you got to shift your identity from consumer to owner. Because here's what I've learned, and I want y'all to write this down, put it in the chat. Consumers, they buy, finance, and upgrade. Watch this. And let me add this one there too. They even show off. Consumers, I want you to pay attention to that. We see so many people leading with their luxury cars online, and there's nothing wrong with that because I posted mine. But I've somewhat, yeah, actually not somewhat, I've posted my cars years after I had them. Years. I'm not using that as a tool to draw people in. I'm not using it just to show off, look what I'm doing, and come rock with me. No, 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 no. I buy my luxury cars because that's what I wanted since I was a kid. So consumers going to buy and finance and upgrade all the time and show off. Let me show you what owners do. Let me tell you what owners do. Owners own, they build, they invest. Watch this. They have time, and they build a solid future for them. And watch this. Ooh, I'm going back to what my boy said. And owners, while everyone else is out there trying to show off, they're trying to plant seeds that builds trees that provide shade. Because what I've learned, and I need all of y'all to type this in the chat. If you're on your computer or if you're watching this on your phone, just type it, because I believe what you speak into the atmosphere, God is going to then come back and give it to you. Ownership changes bloodlines. Ownership changes bloodlines. So with me saying that, I want you to imagine your future right now. I want you to imagine in the next 12 to 18 months, when you wake up, when you see your bank balance, you're not panicking. I want you to imagine that when you get up and you look at your phone and you see your bank app, that you're not nervous to go inside of it. I want you to imagine, because you have ownership, because you have freedom, that if you do have a credit card, you're not tripping because you know you can pay it off cash the very next day. I want you to imagine looking at your bank account and you got 25, 30 grand just sitting in your savings account, and you got $100,000 already invested and starting to build with compound interest. Watch this. I want you to imagine having the ability to say no. To say no. But that future requires a decision today. That future requires a decision today. What will you do differently today that will bring that future that you desire to pass? Because I firmly do believe that the caliber of our future is going to be determined by the decisions we make today. going to be determined. It's going to. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. The caliber of your children's future when they turn 18 is going to be determined by, did you decide to plant the seed today? I was talking, y'all will see the show come up here in a couple of weeks. I was talking with my boy, Darrell, and his wife, and I said, bro, they have a baby coming, and the baby is not even out of the mother's womb yet. The baby will get here, I believe, in January. My little niece will get here in January. I said, bro, what are you doing today? He said, bro, I spent 2 hours when we were in Miami making decisions about our daughter. I'm planting the seed so that before she even comes, I'm planting the seed that will grow the tree. I said, I love it. He said, because 18 years from now, the world is going to look different with AI and with technology. So I need to grow a tree of finances that's going to give her some shade to allow her to get into the real world with some money, and she's not going to be hurting or destroyed by looking for a job, because 18 years from now, it is going to be different. So my responsibility as a father is to give her a head start and provide some level of shade that while she's trying to adapt to adulthood, me and her mama were already prepared, because 18 years ago, we made a decision to follow a plan. And your future changes when you make a decision to change. And some of us are not willing to make a decision because we're unwilling to be outside of our comfort zone. So I got to ask you a question. Are you committed to that? Like, are you really committed to doing what it takes to get freedom in your life? If you're committed, I want you to type the word committed. If you're not committed, get off this live. I love you. You my brother. You my sister in Christ. But for the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes max, I'm going to get up out of here. I only want to talk to the people who are committed. But if you're saying, hey, yo, I'm not committed to that, man. I'm cool with living the kind of life I want to live right now. I ain't mad at you. I want to talk to the people who are committed. Because what I'm about to give you is for the committed people. But you got to choose today to be the one who is committed. Have to. You got to choose today to be the one committed. I don't want to spend the rest of this time that we have tonight talking to people who ain't committed. They just want to be nosy and they just want to continue living the life that they're living. Cool, great, man. I'm with it. I'm with it. But I got to ask you something. Did something click today? And if something did click today, I'm excited. Because I'm good. I firmly do believe that my mission is to help families break free from consumer debt, create margin, build real wealth, and live free. Because I firmly do believe that freedom is better than being rich. I love the fact that I was able to buy a home like this and I had the freedom to do so. I love the fact that I was able to build, this used to be our basement. Like this was nothing down here, right? And I said, yo, I want to build my office in the basement so that way I don't have any outside windows, no distractions. I can just work there. I said, okay. That's my mission. I want to help you get free because freedom to me is better than being rich. The old American dream was about what you could own. But I really do believe we need a new definition, and that is, it is about how free you can become. Emergencies should not destroy us. We should have purpose instead of payments. And we should be at a place to where money eventually buys back our time. I'm for the next 20 years, I'm teaching from the perspective of freedom is better than being rich. And it's about how free can you be. So here's the next step, right? You got to have the map. You have the map today, but now you need to plan. You need to plan that's going to help you with your income, to get you the margin, to get you out of consumer debt, to get you out of security. And that's why I wrote my brand new book, Stop Living Paycheck to Paycheck. It is a proven path, right? To break free from debt, to build real wealth and live free on any income. I'm talking about any income that you have. If you're making 50 grand, I'm going to show you how to build wealth, how to get out of debt. If you're making $1 million, if you're making $500,000, if you're making $75,000. Inside of this book, I put it on paper, my escape plan. I'm going to take me off the screen so you all can see this, because this is exactly what I used to go from sleeping in the back of my car, living paycheck to paycheck, to getting out of consumer debt on average income, to building a 7-figure income, to now even having a 7-figure net worth portfolio. And I call it the escape plan because I want you to escape financial bondage. So inside the book, I break down, there's phase 1. And I want to bring me back up on the camera real quick, because here's the thing that I love about my book. This book, Stop Living Paycheck to Paycheck, is very unique. I wrote it from a perspective of, if you are in phase 1, don't even worry about phase 2, 3, 4, and 5. Because what I've learned is if I give you a long list, then what tends to happen is that's just a long list of things that you're not going to do. So we literally break the book down. Hey, here's phase 1. Do these things in phase 1 if you're here. And in phase 1, we tell you, we want you to lay down a foundation. I want you to get control of your finances and create a plan, a vision for your money. And I'll walk you through exactly the step-by-steps on how to get control of your finances, to where you feel secure about your finances, and to where you have a clear vision for your money. Then phase 2 comes in. Let me bring it up for you. Phase 2 is clear the ground. This is where we're going to start clearing all that unnecessary stuff that's on our property. All right. So we made the plan, we made the vision, we see where we're going. Now let's get rid of the junk and the garbage that's preventing us from building what we said that we want to build. I do not believe in consumer debt, and I believe that everyone on here would love to be consumer debt free. Then we talk about phase 3, where we got to build the frame. All right. This is where we build our savings, this is where we build our security. This is even where we even build the savings and security for our loved ones. Everything is happening in a phase. Then phase 4 is we scale the structure. We scale the structure. Let me take this off the screen so y'all can take it for the screenshot. This is where you make your money work for you. This is when your money starts making money, when you sleep, when you're at your job, when you're on vacation, when you're on spring break, when you're on your dates, when you're with your kids at the soccer games, basketball games, golf games, you name it. This is when we do it. Then phase 5 is, y'all, this is where we really get into legacy building. And let me come up to this real quick, because I really want to speak to this. One of my videos went viral, and I was talking about, specifically for Black people, what we tend to do is that we tend to die and leave our families with bills and benefits. And the benefits are only enough to take care of partial of the bills. I know that you all sometimes see me on Instagram right now with Ethos advertising the IULs. And I firmly said on there, which some people just don't listen, I said, I don't believe IULs are for everybody. IUL is a good tax strategy, but IULs are not the best life insurance policy. I still firmly 110% stand down and believe that term life insurance is the best one. Why? Because there's no reason why you shouldn't have $1 million policy. I believe that every black man should have a minimum of $1 million in a policy. I believe that every black man and woman should have an estate plan with a trust and a will and a power of attorney and a health directive inside of their estate plan. I believe that every single black family should have family business meetings with their sons, with their daughters, with their spouses, with their grandchildren. I believe that every black family should have a family vacation where they get away and they talk about what's going on in each section of the families. Because your last name is a business. And if you're going to build a successful family that builds generational wealth, pause, X that builds generational freedom, we got to have a conversation about how do we properly do that. And I talk about it inside the book in phase 5. Let me bring it back up for you because this is important. These are the 5 phases that I teach. I teach and I go into detail. This ain't no fluff book. This book, literally, is the book that I wish I had when I was 20 years old, 21 years old. I'm tired of reading motivational stuff, and I'm not knocking them because we all need motivation. But man, we need a book specifically for this generation. And I'm going to say this, and I mean this. We need a book for black people that understands black people, that will get black people where we need to be. But this book is for everybody. But let me tell you right now, this is not a get rich book. This is not a get wealthy book. This is not a let me help you make $1 million book. No. Let me help you get to freedom. Let me help you get you from where you are today to true freedom, to where you can do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it. Now, once you get to freedom of what you call freedom, if you want to go be LeBron James and make 100 million, make 20 million, make 5 million, cool, great. But to get to freedom, you do need to get to 7 figures, because I talk about that in the book. We got to get to 7 figures for retirement age, for right around 55 to 60, so that way we can have true freedom to truly retire, not retire from one job to go work at another job. No. I'm talking about we retire and we no longer have to work. We can go do whatever we want to do. My dad is in a position now to where my dad doesn't have to work. My dad wakes up, I would say, about at least 2 or 3 times a day, and he goes to the hospital and he's a chaplain. My man is, my pops, I'm so happy and proud of him, man. My pops is going to the hospital and praying with people before they die. My pops has freedom to where he can go to the hospital and get someone saved on their deathbed. And he does it for free. And that's what this book is all about. Stop living paycheck to paycheck. It's all about that book. And if you buy it and pre-order it tonight, maybe you can get some crazy bonuses. Let me give them to you right now. Number 1, you get the early manuscript. Bonus number 2, we're going to give you 21 days of a money challenge where we're going to help you find $1,000 and put it back into your pocket. Well, how is this even possible, Anthony? Let me tell you how it's possible. What we're doing is I'm going to give you a script. I'm going to give you a script to call any bill collectors you have to get your bills lower, because I was a bill collector for 4 years. So I know exactly what we were looking for. I'm going to give you the script how to get your cell phone bill lower down. I'm going to give you a script how to get your car insurance lower down. I'm even going to give you companies that I believe are the best companies to get your car insurance down. And I'm going to teach you how to negotiate against 2 or 3 of them. You're going to join the official book launching team, but that's I don't worry about that right now because we're about a week out, right? But also, I sat down with Darrell and his wife, and we talk about how did this young man in his 30s pay off their consumer debt and retire his wife at 32 years old. It's a masterclass on how couples can do this thing. Then here's the thing that my publisher just gave me, and we announced this on Tuesday, and we're going to announce it again today. Y'all, here's a new bonus. If you buy the book, Stop Living Paycheck to Paycheck, they're going to give you my book that we released last year, Take Your Seat at the Table, for 100% free. So let's add all of this up. You're going to get about $275 worth of free stuff for literally going to Amazon tonight, buying the book for $23. You're going to get nearly $275 worth of free stuff. And Take Your Seat at the Table is one of my favorite books that I've written. This will be my fourth book that I've written. Stop Living Paycheck to Paycheck will be my favorite forever, right? I even told my publisher that I'm not going to write another book next year because I really want to sell 100,000 copies of this book. And I really want to help a lot of people get out of debt. Like, I really want to help people and give people the tools and the resources to get out of debt. But Take Your Seat at the Table will be my second one. And the reason being is because I'm tired of us sitting at other people's table and we don't know how to build our own tables. And I literally write the book and show y'all inside the book, how did I build my own table? And this is what you need to do. Freedom. Your investment, $23. And you're going to get the book. Listen, you can go to anthonyoneal.com right now, anthonyoneal.com/book, or scan this QR code. Choose a retailer and pre-order your book. Now listen, I'm all about saving money, but y'all, Amazon has it for $23. Let me see if I can go to it real quick. Let me see what the price is right now. But what I want you to do is go to anthonyoneal.com. Because if you go to anthonyoneal.com, click on the link through there. Let's see here. Yep, they got it for $23.63. And y'all, it is a #1 national bestseller. Are you kidding me right now? It's a #1 bestseller. Hold up. I want y'all to see this. This is, what in the world? Wow. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. We about to, wow. Wow. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'll put y'all on there. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to do all this stuff, y'all. I'm still learning how to do this stuff. This is crazy. This is just really, 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 really crazy. Let me see here. How do I do this? Let's go here. I think that's it. Let me see. Yep, that's it. And this is crazy. I'm just like, I am extremely, wow. Look at God. Like, this is just, come on, somebody. Like, come on, somebody. Like, come on, somebody. I think I'm doing this right. Y'all, we just built this in my basement, so excuse me. I'm trying to get there like y'all. My team normally does this kind of stuff for me though. But I told him, I was like, yo, I just want to jump on whenever I want to jump on. But there it is. Wow. Wow. Look at that, y'all. The hardcover is a #1 bestseller on Amazon. That's just crazy. That is just crazy. So listen, I just want y'all to see it. So it's on sale for $23. All right, it's on sale for $23. Let me see something here. Let me just walk you all through this. So listen, if you go to anthonyoneal.com/book, I think I can bring it up over here. I sure can. Here you go. All right. So if you go to anthonyoneal.com/book, click on pre-order today, come down here, click on Amazon. Click on Amazon. It's going to take you directly to this link. Um, make the purchase, and then what you would do is come back to Stop Living Paycheck to Paycheck. Put your name here. Put this there. Put that there. Click on Amazon. Type in your book order number. Click Send Me Your Bonuses, and then from there you will get an email from me, and you'll get all your bonuses tonight. We're not even playing with you. Like you'll get all your bonuses tonight. You will have nothing to worry about. All right. Listen, we've been on here for what time is it? Going on 2 hours. I would not keep you all too long. So I would definitely get the. Someone said she will get the audio book. Hey, I'm fine with that, right? Here's what I suggest. Here's why I say don't get the audio book, get the hard copy. It's because this is not a book that you just read one time and you let go. This is a book. Okay, I'm gonna highlight. I did this. Next, I'm gonna do that. Literally, it's that book. Like it's not a book that you just read as like a fun story or as a fun book to walk you through. It's no. This is your manual. This is how you're gonna get from here to there. This is that manual that I would want to be able to highlight and then put notes on. You know, if you bought the book at InvestFest, can I still receive the bonus? Yo, Dante, you should have gotten that the book from 44th and Bookstore. They should have gave it to you. So that's what I would recommend. Okay, I see y'all. Y'all in here talking, boy. Y'all in here talking. I love it. So my man said, yo, I got the email immediately. Oh man, I got all these comments. Y'all been commenting like crazy. I haven't seen the comments. I hope nothing. Uh, I hope there's nothing crazy happening in the comments. Let me see here. Let me see how I can make sure we put this up to where people can see things clearly. Oh man, I don't know if they can see things clearly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I can't do that clearly. Um, we could try that. Yeah, we could try that. We could try that. We could definitely try that. Billionaire Barnes. Oh, you know what, y'all? I don't think it's gonna come through and work on that one because of. Yeah. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Your financial Bible. I get it. Yeah. I mean, that's honestly what it is, y'all. It is. This is not a. I don't know how to describe it. Like it's not. It's not like my book from last year, the table. No, I wrote this for the average everyday people who just needs to be told clearly what to do. Right? So it is I wouldn't say it's a Bible because I don't want to compare it to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, right? I would just say it's a manuscript. It is literally my financial manuscript of what worked for me. And I'm honest in the book, right? I'm so honest in that book that I'm just being super vulnerable, right? I'm being honest. Um, you know, uh, my sister, Legacy CPA, she says she's gonna have her son read the book. That is amazing. Oh, thank you. I just ordered mine. Yo, if you just ordered yours, please let me know in the chat. I wanna give you some love online. If you just ordered, or if you are gonna order tonight from Amazon, listen, go to Amazon and get it. And I'm not trying to get in. If you want to go to Barnes and Noble, cool, great. But I'm trying to save you some money. If you can save $10, man, save $10. What's this question right here? This one right here is, if I bought the book at Barnes and Noble, can I still get the first book? I'm sorry, bro. Uh, we got it. You got to have it from the website. You know what I'm saying? You got to have it from the website. When did you buy it at Barnes and Noble? So that'll be good. I'm getting both, bro. Audio for the car. Okay, I'm with it. I love it. It comes out next Tuesday. Just so you all know, it comes out next Tuesday, and we will be on the Today Show. Man, let me tell you how big this message is, right? And then please, by all means, I know it's late. You're more than welcome to go and do your thing. But let me tell you how good this message is, y'all. Let me tell you how good this message is. Let me bring this up. when we got the call from the Today Show to come and to share about this message, we were completely like blown away that someone of that magnitude understands that, man, people are living paycheck to paycheck and that people want true freedom. I think people are starting to realize that, hey, I want to make millions, but I better not. Like I better just get to the foundations first. And I used to be a little insecure about that, if I'm being honest. That, man, God, you've called me to the basic things. Like, I'm not teaching people how to make millions, and I know how to teach that message. Like, I can teach that message, God. And he was like, yeah, no. He said, I have millions of daughters and sons who who don't know what to do with $50. I have other sons and daughters and teaching how to make millions. I need someone who's willing to talk to my sons and daughters who don't have millions, who don't have thousands to invest, who doesn't have margin, but they want to get to margin, but they're fearful to ask the people who are talking about millions, what can I do with 100? And I said, God, I get it. I get it. I get it. And when I accepted that calling over my life, that's when my brand really blew up. It's when my brand really, really blew up. And I just want y'all to know that I wrote this book for the average everyday person. For the person who may be a little embarrassed to say that I'm not where I know I need to be. For the person who's saying like, man, I know I've made some bad decisions with my money. For the person who's like, yo, I know I should have. I should have made a better decision years ago. I know it. I know it. I know it. And so I get it, man. I I totally get it, and I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm going to stay in my lane, and I'm rocking with the average everyday person. And my goal is to not make you rich. My goal is to not sell you on a Mercedes Benz or a Louis Vuitton or a name brand item. My goal is I want to sell you on freedom. I want to see that if you get this book, if you rock with me here for the next 12 to 18 months, if you come out to my events, if you come out to my book tours, if you come out to some of the things we're about to really be doing here around the world, I want to see testimonies of I'm free. I want to hear testimonies of I want to see tears of freedom. I want to see tears of joy. I want to see tears of I was able to pay off my car. I was able to buy my son a car. I was able to send my kids to school free. Man, Anthony, 18 years ago, I was watching your stuff. I got your book, and my son is graduating high school today, and we're sending him to college for free. And we're giving him a check for $100,000 because we opened up a 529 account. And for those of you all who do not even know what a 529 account is or how to really open up one, I got you. It's in the book. And so for those of you all who are asking me, so some of y'all are asking me, so, um, you know, oh man, I appreciate it. Been following you since your Dave Ramsey days. I go way back. Much success. Oh, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Man, I'm seeing y'all order. Just ordered mine. Just ordered mine. For those of you all who just ordered or you're going to order the book, I want to make sure that it is super clear. All right. When you order the book, you got to do step 3. So some of you all are already asking me inside the comments, right? Some of y'all are already asking me inside the comments Um, hold on. Hold on. Man. Well, some of y'all have been asking me. A lot of y'all are ordering. Thank you so much. Let me just say this. I saw about 3 comments on asking where do I submit my information. Okay, if you're going to submit your information, go back to anthonyoneal.com/book and type in your information. Let me bring it up for you again. All right, so let me just pull this up. This is where you go. Okay, you come back to anthonyoneal.com/book, click on a pre-order. So if you went to Amazon, I saw some of y'all went to Barnes & Noble. Let me see, how much do they have it for at Barnes & Noble? Oh, why would y'all spend $29 at Barnes & Noble when Amazon has it for $23? Come on, y'all. $5 is $5. Why would y'all do that? Okay? Why would you do that? But anyways, let's see what Books A Million has it for. Books A Million has it for $29, so we ain't doing that. Nope. And Bookshop. Bookshop has it for $27, has the ebook for $14, has the paperback for $13. So ain't nobody beating Amazon right now. All right. So Amazon has it for $23. If you got Prime, you're getting free shipping. All right. It's already a #1 bestseller on Amazon. Thank y'all so much for that. For real. I mean that. And so once you do that, once you buy from Amazon, you're going to come back to this site. You're going to type in your information. You're going to click send me the bonus. Once you click send me the bonus, you're going to get all this information. That's it. You got to do that, y'all. You have to do that. That is important. That is the only way you're going to get your bonuses. And I don't want you all saying, hey, Anthony, I didn't get my bonuses. Please do that, man. Please do that. I don't want y'all thinking that my team and I are trying not to be men and women of our words. Okay. Just ordered and submitted the info. Thank you. Bought the audio version on Audible. That's cool. Now here's the thing. I'm telling this to everybody. I have a problem with you, Ms. Arian, buying an audio version. You're going to regret not buying the hard copy. Here's why. You're going to hear me say, hey, do this and then come back here and do step 2. So now you got to come back and find for the audio where step 2 is. Where if you had a book, you can just highlight and check you did step 1, you did step 2. Okay, cool, great. Let me go on to the next page, or let me go over to phase 2, or let me go over to phase 3. Listen, the hard book it doesn't bother me which one you get, right? As long as you get the information. But what I'm saying is to get the fullness of it, I don't make any more money if you buy audio or hard or soft or even Kindle, right? But I think for the best experience, if you really want to take notes, write in where you are, because sometimes I'm going to ask you to write here where you are, is going to be the physical copy. Yep. It's going to be the physical copy. All right. I just ordered the book. Okay. I got my book at Amazon. Okay. Boy, y'all up in there. Y'all buying tonight. Someone asked me, what's the difference between my app in the black and the book? Honestly, they complement each other. In the back of the book, I suggest everybody to get the In the Black app. The In the Black app is mainly used to be your daily coach with me on your budget. Remember what we said? We got to get control of our finances. So the In the Black app is going to connect to your bank accounts and to your credit card statements, and we're going to be monitoring your spending every single day. So when you go to sleep on the In the Black app, when you wake up in the morning, we're going to tell you how much money you spent. If you overspent your daily budget that you put in for your monthly budget, we're going to let you know every single day you're on track to hit your budget, you're doing a good job, or hey, you're on track to not hit your budget, you need to stop spending money here. So the In the Black app is not the step-by-step play when it comes to going from here to freedom. The In the Black app is going to hold you accountable to your get clear side of things, your budget, your investing. It's managing that, right? So that is the difference between the In the Black app, and that is the difference between getting the book. You need both. You need the strategy, you need the full detailed plan, and you need a everyday person who's going to hold you accountable, and that is me inside the app. All right. Um, Tam- Tamiko says, man, I love that. She says, yo, I have your In the Black app too. I need to work on my homework in it. I recently purchased it. Oh, I love it, man. I love that. For those of you all who are wondering, like, okay, what is the In the Black app? Well, let me ask you this question. Put a yes in the comment section if you need a real good budgeting app that's super easy to help you with the zero-based budgeting format, to show you what you're doing, to show you, because here's the thing with our app, we can our app, once you connect your bank accounts to it, we're gonna do the zero-based budget for you. Okay, we are literally going to do it for you. You see, one of our people here says that the Inner Black app is 100% wonderful, right? Like, if you're going to get serious about taking your finances over, one, get the book. You have to get the book. Then next, you need to get the app because you need a real good budgeting software that is going to help you with your goals and with your vision. Y'all see the testimonies. It definitely holds you accountable. I love the app. I didn't even ask for this, right? We, my sister says you can't hide it all, right? So if you want to check out the app, here you go. Um, the best budgeting app. It is my app, right? So this is an app that took me about a year to build out. And I'm just gonna put this one. App. Check it out. Listen, I'm not saying get the app over the book. I'm telling all of my people who have the app, yo, if you really want to take your finances to the next stage, get the book. And here's why. What do they say for black people? If you want to hide something from black people, put it inside of a book. Man, I'm scratching. I don't know what, something bit me. Lord Jesus. Um, so any more questions, y'all? I got to get up out of here. I'm tired. I got to catch a flight. Y'all, this Saturday, I will be in Chicago at Purpose Church. I will be in Chicago talking at their financial literacy conference on Saturday morning. I'm their keynote speaker. I'll be kicking off the day. And then Monday and Tuesday, I will be in New York having a good conversation there. And so I would highly encourage you all to do that. And then I go back. Make sure on Tuesday, I'm going to send an email out. Make sure on Tuesday that you all check me out on the Today Show. I'm really, I can't tell you, and I've done a lot of major shows, but I've never done the Today Show. So I'm extremely honored that they have asked me to come and watch this. And they literally said, we want you to say practical. We don't want you to talk major. We want you to get very, very practical and very, very basic, because the majority of people in the world do not know the basic stuff. And your book is the best for it. I said, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so don't forget, go to anthonyoneal.com/book. Get the book. Heck, order a copy, 2 copies for someone else. Be a blessing to someone. Make sure you go back and you get your bonuses. And make sure that you all keep it locked. Find me on Tuesday. Maybe I'll sneak on here on Saturday, talk about some of the current news. But I love you all. Thank y'all for rocking with me for about 2 hours. And I will see you all soon. God bless y'all.